guys, my name is Kenyada and welcome back to my channel. You know, if you see a space bun leaning or whatever, just mind your business because they got a mind of their own, but I don't feel like taking it down right now. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I am going to be telling you guys my labor story. I just had my son. I am 3 weeks postpartum. Jeremy, you know, for those who don't know, he won't be like in this video or anything like that, but I did want to put my labor story out there on my channel. Super blessed, super thankful for a safe delivery of my son. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I just think sometimes, like with labor, the moment feels traumatizing, leading up to it feels traumatizing. I mean, I know a lot of people are trying to change that narrative because it's something that your body we're born to do, like, you know, so it's not supposed to be this whole scary, traumatic event, but I don't know, it's just kind of from what you see on TV, what you hear from other people, you just can't help but to be a little scared and feel like it's a little traumatic. So thanking God for the safe delivery of my son. If you don't know, like, this is my second son. I did put a video out on my channel talking about, actually just last week, you know, both my pregnancies, but I didn't have a channel when I gave birth to my first son. Now that I do, I just wanted to, you know, talk about the whole story. So originally my plan was to document and film, you know, maybe not actually the actual labor itself. I'm not that, like, you know, brave to put all that out there, but I definitely wanted to give you guys, you know, the behind the scenes of it. But everything happened so quickly. Like, I really wanted to give you guys like the moment it was all happening, leading up to the hospital, like on the way and then after. But guys, it happened so quick. There was really no time for that. I'm gonna go ahead and insert the footage that I did happen to get. So I'm just gonna go ahead and play that right now. Hey guys, it is currently Tuesday, May 11th. It is 1 a.m. and my water just broke. So here we go. I was sleeping and it broke. It woke me up and it like got all over the pregnancy pillow. It's like all over the bed. By the time like I went to go use the restroom, like it's kind of dramatic, like almost like the movies. Definitely different than Jeremiah. It was like, what is happening? So the mucus plug and my water broke together, so I just went to the toilet and kind of sat there for a while, and then I got up and it got all over the floor. So okay, I actually started packing my bag today. It doesn't have like any of my toiletries in it. Only thing I'm missing is like a robe, but I just have this Tommy Hilfiger bag. Jermaine's like ordering me my robe as we speak. And then Jeremy, this is his room. It's clearly under construction because we thought we had 2 more weeks, but I'm about to go ahead and let me get in some better light. This is his diaper bag, so I'm about to go ahead and start packing it and then just make a small list if there's anything else like we didn't get. But yeah guys, that's what I'm about to do. 1 in the morning, not feeling any contractions. I actually have, yeah, I'm not feeling like any contractions or anything. Like, it's how it happened last time too. My water broke and I wasn't feeling contractions. I didn't even know what was going on, so not really like in a panic. And I have a doctor's appointment at 9 in the morning, so I'm just, you know, gonna go like regular and tell her what happened. But I'm gonna go ahead and start packing this bag because if the contractions do start and I do need to go, then I want to be ready. Okay, so that was it, because after that it picked up so quickly I couldn't even think about picking up the camera, because honestly I was going to give you guys like up until, you know, obviously where I had to focus, contractions were getting, you know, pretty serious. It was gonna be me talking to you guys, and then obviously Jermaine was gonna take over, but we just didn't get there, but it's okay. So my son was born May 11th, 2021. I was literally asleep. Like, I think I went to sleep early. It was like one of those nights where I was just tired. I think I went to sleep around like 9 or 10. And I was like startled awake because I felt this gush. Like, it was weird. Like, it was like, what is this? And guys, like, I was Jeremy was due May 22nd, so I wasn't expecting any water breaking or anything anytime soon. Like Mother's Day had just passed, and the weekend previously was my baby sprinkle. So I still thought I had like 2 weeks, and I just wasn't, I had a doctor's appointment that Tuesday because, once you get into, I don't know when it speeds up, 35 weeks, 34 weeks, you're kind of seeing your doctor every week so that she can check. So she checked my cervix and she said that nothing was going on. Like my uterus hadn't dropped. She was just like, yeah, we're not ready for labor. So this is what she told me. So I'm over here like chilling, basically like, oh, Jeremy's not in any rush, all this. Girl. So literally my mindset, even after my water broke, because that's what happened, that's what woke me up. It was dramatic compared to, like with, just to give backstory for Jeremiah, like when my water broke, the mucus plug and my water broke at the same time. So when I was like, I was using the restroom basically, and there was like something in the toilet. If you're not like a mother or interested in this may feel like TMI, but for those who have had children, want to know about labor because they're currently pregnant, plan on having children, then okay, because otherwise it would be like, it's kind of gross. But yeah, using the restroom, the mucus plug fell out in the toilet, had no idea what that was, so I looked it up and was like, oh, okay, it's a sign of labor. And pretty much my water broke in that moment, but it was a slow leak, so I had no idea that that's what that was. This time I don't even remember my mucus plug falling out, so I must have missed it because I don't remember that happening. So that's another thing, like, where was my mucus plug? It must have fell out and I didn't pay attention. Or no, I think it fell out. I think it happened the same way. Yeah, because I think Jermaine said he saw it. So I literally leaked all over the bed, all over my maternity pillow. I mean, it was just a mess. So even as I got up and was like walking, got to the bathroom, it was still just like gushing out. It was like the movies, how when you see that dramatic, like, oh, my water broke. Like if I was standing up, that's what it would have been versus like me laying down sleep. So it was definitely that dramatic, like movie climactic, like, oh, my water broke shenanigans in my sleep. Like what? So I went to go use the restroom, and my mindset was basically how it was with Jeremiah, very slow. So I thought that I had time. So I used the restroom, and then I was like, okay, weirdly enough, just the other day, I packed my bag. The only thing that was missing from my hospital bag was my robe, because we were going to order one. So that was like really the only thing that was missing. So I immediately was like, okay, Jeremy's bag's not even packed. I thought I had 2 more weeks. So I went in there, started putting stuff together, getting Jermaine's opinions on things. And he's walking around ordering my robe, because we were basically like, okay, water broke. I don't know. We still wasn't thinking that day we were going to have him, because how slow everything was with Jeremiah. I was like, my water broke. I was in labor for 2 days. So, Amazon Prime, we like, okay, let's order the robe. The robe will get here. So when I'm in Jeremy's room, I feel my first contraction. And I was like, okay, not enough to stop me in my tracks, not enough for me to get worried, but I definitely was like, okay, I'm feeling a contraction. Like, guys, I didn't have Braxton Hicks this time. Like, it was just all very fast. So when I felt that contraction, I continued to pack his bag, continued to go on about my day. Well, the night, guys, so my water broke midnight, basically. It was like 12:40, 12:50 or something like that. So it was literally like wee hours in the morning, and we're packing bags, ordering stuff off Amazon. So in the midst of me packing his bag, the second contraction came, not enough to like, put me under, but enough to stop me, like where I had to stop what I was doing and like kind of like, you're supposed to breathe through your contractions. Like with Jeremiah, I literally would clench, and that's not what you're supposed to do. So from what I remember and what I was told in, coaching and stuff like that, I just pretty much articles, different things that I read and was trying to like research this time around. Sorry guys, my nose is like running for no apparent reason. I was like, I just stopped and was breathing, and I was like, okay, the bag is pretty much packed. Let me go sit down. So I was sitting in the bed, and like Jermaine started basically to try to keep track of the contractions, because the fact that I had 2 just while I was in there packing the bag was kind of concerning, because I'm like, I mean, I've only been in here for like 20 minutes or so. So we were like recording the contractions. Still, like, it's weirdly enough, that day I had an appointment. So we were pretty much like, okay, I can go to, the appointment was at like 9:30. So I was like, okay, we can go to sleep. Like I said, I thought it was going to be moving slowly. So I was like, we can go to sleep, and then I can tell my OB, like, my water broke, you know, and she obviously would check my cervix and see what was going on. Yeah, I don't know what I thought was going on, but guys, we definitely did not make it to 9:30. So when I was in the bed, I was like, if I do go into labor, I want to eat, because I didn't know that you couldn't eat once you were in active labor. So last time I was freaking starving. So I was like, I don't want that happening again if we do have to go to the hospital. So I told Jermaine, we sit here going through the list. I think we had barbecue from Jeremy's baby sprinkles. I'm like, well, should I do barbecue? But it was like, do you want something that heavy right now? And I was like, well, what about cereal? He's like, the dairy? Like, he's like listing off this stuff. I was like, well, some sweet, some pancakes. So I took a bite out of that pancake. Jeremy was like, you thought, because that is when the contractions got serious. Like, I took a bite out of that, and it was a longer contraction, and I really felt it. Like, I felt it through my entire body. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Had to check on the boys. It was sounding a little rough out there. Okay, but where was I? The pancake? So the pancake sent me into a contraction or something. Obviously not, but it was like the timing of it. So I was like, okay, this is getting kind of serious. Like, I don't need to be trying to eat pancakes and stuff like that. So I was pretty much, like I said, we were both just like in the bed, paying close attention to how far apart these contractions were. Like, I felt like it went from like 20 minutes to like 9 minutes in like seconds. So once it got to the 9 minutes, I was like, okay, let's go. So we sitting here, like, I don't know, if you're watching this and you've had, you know, your baby, or if you are pregnant or whatever, did you feel the need to like clean up even though you were in active labor? Like, your water broke, like, what was your mindset? Because last time, I can't remember. Well, last time we were unsure if I was in active labor because everything was so slow. So I had time to shower, get dressed, and everything like that. This time everything was moving so quickly, but I still was like, I want to shower, you know, I want to get cleaned up. Like, the day had came and went, like it was a whole new day. So I was like, I want to shower. So here we are, Jermaine helping me in the shower in between contractions, like literally timing out like the bath, when to bathe, when to sit down based on the contractions. I mean, looking back, like, what the hell? Like, we should have been on our way to the hospital, but it was like a madhouse. Like, literally, we were pretty much like, after the shower, I laid back down, you know, trying to get myself ready, breathe through these contractions. Jermaine's running through the house trying to, like, because we weren't ready. Like, now, and I feel like if it's a baby number 3, I need to be packed and ready to go a month out, because I was sitting here like, oh, I got 2 weeks. Like, nothing was ready. Like, nobody was packed. Like I said, I had packed my bag literally the day before, just because that week that I went to labor, I was planning to be prepared by that Saturday. Like, that was my mindset. But I was, you know, going to be through the week piecing everything together, making sure I had everything, ordering, you know, things that I needed, and making sure Jeremy was good. So Jermaine was running around the house as I'm having contractions, you know, trying to make sure to pack everything for me, Jeremy, himself, get Jeremiah squared away. So it was just like a lot going on. So once he was finally, all the bags packed, Jeremiah was good to go. Like, we're in the car, I'm listening to gospel music, breathing through contractions. It was just, guys, it was so quick. By the time I got to the hospital, so we got to the hospital, Jermaine pulled up to the emergency exit, and he's trying to wheel me in, but you know how they are, like, they barely let you. The only reason that they let us, because at first we got up there and they was asking for ID and all this other stuff. They're hearing me breathing and doing all this. They're like, okay, just go ahead. Yeah, like, this can wait, can it? Like, I'm in active labor, like, your girl's in pain, can we get upstairs? So, like, we're basically bypassing everything. And then once I came up, you know, the person stood up, was automatically calling people like, okay, we got a mom out here, you know, she's ready. So I was the nurse or whoever she was, the doctor came and got me, but Jermaine still had to fill out freaking paperwork. Like there's still, he just left the car. So it was like he needed to move the car, and then he had to bring in like his information as well as give them some information about me. So because I just came in guns blazing, you know, contractions, screaming, and all this other stuff. I wasn't screaming, guys, but I was definitely breathing pretty heavy. The screaming didn't happen until I was actually like pushing out Jeremy. So Jermaine was going to go park the car, and he said that, you know how when you're in a parking garage and you gotta go down to the first floor, then get into the hospital, then go up to whatever floor you're trying to get to. For whatever reason, he went up to like the floor that I was on in that elevator thinking it was going to get directly to me. So it was just like a lot going on that took him long to get back to me. So I'm in the first room where they normally check you out. Like I remember that from last time. Get some information, put on all the crap, ask you questions about, do you want an epidural? Like, you know, examine you to make sure everything's good. Do we need to be doing a C-section? Like what is going on down there? So when I come in, you know, they're helping me, and because I'm literally in the wheelchair, and the moment I try to stand up, I had a contraction. So I'm sitting here like, give me a second, you know, they're trying to undress me, put gowns on, and I am literally, contractions are that quick. Like, you know, so basically when I got there, I was already 10 centimeters dilated. Had no idea. Like I was breathing through these contractions, like gospel music playing. Like it did not feel like we was already there. Like it literally felt like I was building up to what it was with Jeremiah. So I'm thinking we was getting to the hospital and they was going to tell me I was like 3 centimeters or something. Nope, your girl was 10 centimeters dilated. She's calling the labor and delivery room. Like she's pushing out a baby now. So basically, because like when they laid me down and she's asking all these questions, I kept telling them it don't feel right. Something don't feel right. Because if you've had your baby before, if you delivered a baby, you know how it feel. You feel like you got to poop, like you got to push. And that's what was going on. That's not what a contraction feels like. Contraction is just like your body sends this shock through you. It's like, let me not brace. You want to brace, but you don't brace. You breathe. So that's not when it's time to push. It feels like you're pushing, like because your body is naturally doing this, whether you're ready or not. So that's what I was telling her, something's not right, something's not right. So they're looking and they're like, okay, here comes baby. So literally as I'm getting transferred from this room to the other room, I am pushing Jeremy out. Like by the time I got to the room, they could see his head. So it was like getting real. So there was no time for anything. Like I was already going to do a natural, I'm sorry guys, I talk with my hands. I feel like that's all y'all seeing, but I was already prepared to have a natural birth. But if your girl didn't, like if that wasn't my birth plan, I had no choice because it was too quick. There was no time to put epidurals in, any kind of medication or whatever. So I had no choice but to push them out natural, which I plan to do anyway. But it was, guys, I think I was at the hospital for all of like 15 minutes and Jeremy was there. I'm no cap, like it was that quick. Jermaine, the time it took Jermaine to go park the car and come back, he was already here. So Jermaine missed it. He, like, when they came and got him, the nurse was just telling him, you know, mom and baby's good. He's like, what? Like, thinking she got the wrong person. Like, he was like, I asked her to repeat this information like 3 different times because I was gone for like 5 minutes, you know? So, and the doctors and them kept on saying like, well, I was hearing them saying like, who was she with? Who brought her here? Because they knew like the baby was coming and I had nobody in there with me other than all of them. Like I was holding one of the nurses' hands because I didn't have anybody because y'all so worried about paperwork. Y'all should have just let this man through. We could have gotten the information on the go like y'all did with me. Like they pretty much was asking me questions and things in between contractions and pushing out Jeremy. So it's like, it could have been the same thing with Jermaine. Like he didn't have to miss it. They just do too much, but I get it. So by the time I made it to that room, like, because when you deliver naturally, it's on you. Like they're waiting on you, basically. You tell us because you feel the push. Like when you get an epidural, to my understanding, you don't feel anything. So they're looking and they're telling you when to push because you don't feel it. But if you're giving birth, naturally you're feeling the push. They don't know when it's time to push, so they're basically like, on you, you know, push when you feel that contraction. Because now it's like, before you're ready, after that 10 centimeters dilated, all you're feeling is the contractions. But once you're 10 centimeters dilated and the baby's coming, now with contractions you push, you know what I mean? So it's like, now I'm like, they're waiting on me, you know, go ahead type thing. So I felt like the slowest part of this was the pushing, because it was like Jeremy, and I got stuck, but we kind of stalled a little bit trying to get his head out, you know? So I don't know like what, but Jeremy was a bigger baby. So I think that might have been what was causing like a hiccup down there, because your girl was like, I think it was so quick. Like, I was in pain, but I didn't have time to feel it all. You know what I mean? Kind of like with Jeremiah, I felt like I felt every bit of that, because it was so slow. Like, they had to add the Pitocin because the lady was like, you're just not moving fast enough for me. That was like her exact words. Like, this isn't moving fast enough. Whereas this one was so quick. I remember some of the nurses was like, that's how you come in and deliver a baby, because it was so quick. Like I said, the time it took Jermaine to go park the car and come back, he missed the entire thing. It actually hurt more than pushing out the placenta. Like, when they was pushing out the placenta, that part hurt. I'm like, how does that hurt more than the freaking, because they're pushing down on your stomach and guiding the placenta out. And like, once Jeremy came out and they got to that part, that's when more people came in and were like, are you ready for some medication? Hell yeah, I'm ready for some medication. That's how it was with Jeremiah as well. It was like, after everything, I was like, is he out? Is he good? Okay, what do you have? Because, you know, they give you the morphine and different stuff like that. So that's pretty much what it was. But I could still feel them, you know, pushing out that placenta. And I was talking to Jermaine, I was like, did it take this long last time? Like, I felt like they was working on that part forever. That was like more painful. Not more painful, I'm being dramatic, but I definitely felt that. Whereas like with the labor, it was just so quick, and and Jeremy was out, and it was just like, you know, next thing I knew, they were plopping them on, you know, that's what they normally do. Like, well, they asked you, do you want to feel your baby right away? Like, some people, I don't know, they want them cleaned up, I don't know what it is, but they always ask, and they plop them on you. And then like last time, Jermaine cut the umbilical cord, but because he wasn't there, I cut my own umbilical cord. So it was just like a different little experience for me this time. Very quick. Still, I think I did better as far as breathing through contractions. I mean, it was so fast that, and I don't know if your body ever gets used to something like this, but I mean, in my perspective, it kind of did, you know, because it hurt, but not like the first time. Like, I mean, you know, baby's coming through your woman parts, you know, so it's gonna hurt, but I felt like it definitely wasn't like the first time, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's a combination of the body already being like, oh, I remember this, on top of like your mental, like how I went into the labor this time around. But yeah, guys, I really wanted to give you guys that behind the scene. I didn't want it to just be like a talk through labor story, but it is what it is. It was so quick, beautiful experience. Like I said, super grateful, and just, I don't know how to describe it, but really grateful that everything went smoothly with his delivery, you know. Comment down below, did you have a natural birth? Like, how did you deliver your baby? You know, what were some of your like highlights and experiences? Because two totally different experiences for me, you know, and I just still can't get over how quick it was. Like, I felt lucky. Like, it was real quick. And, you know, like I said, other than that part where I actually pushed him out, I feel like that's when everything kind of slowed down for whatever reason. But other than the placenta part, I felt like it was pretty smooth, you know. I don't know, I just didn't remember last time it being so painful. I don't know if the medication I think the medication just hadn't kicked in yet, and that's why I was feeling all of that, because I was like, I do not remember it being so painful. Like, this isn't the labor. Like, it felt like I was giving birth twice, you know. So yeah, guys, I hope I'm not leaving anything out. Like, I knew I was forgetting something, so I didn't even really give like a timeline of like how I said earlier, it was like 12 or something like that. And actually in the clip, I know I mentioned the exact time. So whatever time that was, Jeremy was born at 5:43. So that goes to show you how long I was in labor. It was like 4 or 5 hours. You know, it wasn't, and most of that was done at home. Like I said, made it to the hospital just in time. Like me and Jermaine was joking about that after the fact. I was like, could you imagine if you would have had to pull over and deliver this baby? Because literally, guys, like I got inside the hospital, got up to that room, and they could see his head. So it was basically like, if we would have taken any longer to get moving and get there, Jermaine would have been delivering the baby. Because like I said, the contractions just weren't as strong as the first time. So I thought we still had a ways to go. Like as long as it took with Jeremiah, I was basing it off that same experience, which I really shouldn't have. But the contractions just weren't as intense. Like I remember by the time it was like time to deliver, I couldn't even move. Like at first I was up kind of walking around, bouncing on balls, dancing. By the time we got to 10 centimeters, I was like laid out in the bed like, come on, can we please deliver this baby? This time was just different. Like it was real different. So I didn't know that we were that close to delivery. So we were joking like, wouldn't that be crazy? We sitting here would have had our baby in the car. Like we would have had to call 911 obviously, because neither one of us know how to deliver a baby. We didn't look that information up. So oh my gosh. Yeah, I was like, I didn't give them a timeline so you can understand how long I was in labor. Okay, I'm always forgetting something, right? Yeah, I feel like I got super excited telling this story, but I'm going to go ahead and conclude the video here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you are subscribed because I still have, you know, a few videos about my pregnancy journey, and, you know, you don't want to miss that content. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.